Hi everyone, good morning. This is Ida of Created to Create. Welcome back to my channel. If you're not 18 years or older, this video content is not intended for you. I had previously recorded this video, you guys, and I have been away because I had a procedure done in my hands, both of my hands, and I recorded a video and it kind of looked gross. My hands look gross, so because I didn't have bandages on it, on the different areas in my hand that I needed to have covered up. So I'm re-recording for you guys so I won't gross you out. It's not really gross, but I had some things done to my hands and they haven't healed, and that's why I haven't been on, and I just wanted to cover all that up. That way you guys don't have to see that. But I do have a project share that I created yesterday. My hands felt a little bit better and I was able to create, and I already put away my things because I had previously recorded, but I will grab them really quick and share them with y'all. And share them with you. That way you guys know what I use to create my project. And if you own them already, that's great. Or something similar, then you can work with that. One of the things that I use is this die, Large Die of the Month by Spellbinders. I did look for it to link it to my previous video. This is no longer available, so it wasn't there anymore. So it's just as well because I have more information. But I will link a different one that I found that is a slimline die set. So anyway, this is the one I used, and I really didn't care for the envelope portion, you guys. Really, all I used were the layers on this, and I did use the envelope, and I will share it with you guys and explain to you what it is that I don't like about it. So that's one that I used. Then I used this tree, this snowy tree by Cottage Cuts. I've had this a couple of years, and I did look for it. I didn't find it. You might have to go to their website, and I think it's Scrapping Cottage, and you might find it there. So I did use that tree. That's one of my favorite trees. And then I used this 3D embossing folder by Memory Box. I think I got this on Simon Says Stamps, but you can go there or Craft Stash or other places, but it might have been Simon Says Stamps where I picked this up. And this is called the Snowy Forest 3D Embossing Folder. So, but anything like this will work, because if you remember, this is for the Grinch inspired things that I'm doing. If you remember the movie The Grinch, there's a lot of snow and hills and all of that. So I was just looking for things that were wintry. Another thing that I used is the Diamond Dust. This is a large can that I picked up several years ago at AC Moore Craft Store. We don't have one anymore, but if you have it in your location, they actually do sell it in this large, I mean, this is a hefty tub, so you can get it there. And another thing that I used is you can use just a regular black permanent marker, or you can use some type of alcohol marker. But regular markers, permanent markers, are also alcohol markers. I also used a small die that I picked up. What did I do with it? Here it is. That I picked up on AliExpress. And originally when I bought it, I thought it was going to cut out the words, and it didn't. And I was a little disappointed. But after I used it on gold foil paper, I was glad that I had purchased it. But I will share it with you. This is what my first cut was, and I thought, oh, I don't like that. But then after I used it with gold foil paper, you could really see the details and everything. So I do like it. And then from the internet, I found an image of the Grinch body, and I only wanted certain parts of the body, so I printed them out. I downsized them to the size that I wanted them to be, and I did a full sheet. And then after I had saved it the size I wanted it to be, so you do have to be familiar with some kind of editing software, I brought the image into my Silhouette Studio and I created the cut file. The problem with me is that my eyesight is not what it used to be, And I haven't bought new glasses, you guys. And sometimes it's hard to see on those little bitty screens if you're lined up, because I cut mine on my brother's Scan and Cut, and it has a feature where you put your paper in and it'll scan your paper, and then you can go and line up your cutting file to line up with your paper. Well, it's a very small screen, and what I thought was lined up wasn't, and you can see a little bit of the white underneath the black. So all I did was go in with my alcohol marker and just went over that white area. So that's all that I use the alcohol marker for, just to kind of, because I don't like white around my die cuts, and I prefer using a die than a SVG file, because I like the beveled edge that you get from a die. So let me share my project with you guys. So I created the Grinch Christmas tree. Look at that, you guys. I've seen this before, where people decorate their Christmas tree with the Grinch body, and when I saw this image, I thought that is perfect. That's what I had wanted to do. So I cut this one out in a green foil paper with the Cottage Cuts die and the snow, because it does cut out the snow. The snow, I only cut it out with that foam board that you get at the Dollar Tree. That's what I use to cut out, to make like shakers and stuff like that. But when you use it and don't color it in, it has a really nice texture and look for snow. So that's all I did. I didn't color it. I did nothing. I just cut out the foam board, and it adds a little bit of dimension. And what I did with the feet, I glued them behind the tree. And then with the arms, the top portions of the arm, I glued them behind the tree. And then I just added a little dab of glue behind the hands, and that I glued on top of the tree. And for the face, I did glue it on top, and I have two layers. One that's flat, and then I added foam tape in between. And for my second face that I used, I shaped it with my ball tool and a foam pad, the way you do when you're shaping flowers. And look at how the sentiment looks. It's nice, right? So the slimline die creates the envelope, and it creates layering pieces. It does not create a card base. So I had to create the card base just with a piece of paper, the way we make our card bases with a paper trimmer. And then I used the layering dies to decorate the envelope to make the layers for this. So it has one that has the holes all the way around it. My lime green piece I cut out with just a paper trimmer, because the next die down to this set is this one with the scallop. So I had enough room in between to put just that little bit of sparkle in there. And then I cut the white portion out with the second die to that set, and I ran it through my embossing folder, my 3D embossing folder. That way you could see the trees in the background, and I love the way it looks. Here's what I was saying, that when you use something that embosses, you get a really nice look. So that's what I use for the sentiment there. I did not add anything to the inside yet, because Miss Betty, who is Scrap Passion 01, I asked her to join me in creating Grinch theme inspiration projects for gift giving or for the holidays. And she joined me, and she does have a video, and I'm going to link it in the description box below. She did an amazing job. Her colors were pink and red, and I'm more in the traditional colors, but she did a very good job. And she shared a stamp set by Gina Marie. I think that's what she said. And I ordered it because it has the Grinch sentiment that I want in there, or one of them that I want in there. There's others that I want that I'll have to print. But that particular one is one of the main ones that I wanted, and I'll be able to stamp it and emboss it in any color I want, or stamp it in any color of ink that I want. So I went ahead and picked it up. Thank you, Miss Betty. And but look at how gorgeous that is. This is 110-pound cardstock. This is very, very sturdy. So there's the first one that I created. And I am going to tweak it a little bit because Miss Betty reminded me that I have some flocking. And that's kind of, it's almost like a mossy type of material that you can put on your projects to make it look fuzzy. And I have some white ones, so I want to add it to the brim of the hat. But I love the way he came out. So that's one. This was the first one that I created, and I cut it out with just green cardstock. And it was pretty. I liked it, but it wasn't it wasn't wow to me. So I cut it out in the green, and I cut out the snow in the white, and this is where I added the diamond dust. You can see the twinkle there, I believe. And just to the snowy areas, glued it the same way, and then I added the sentiment to the bottom. The card base is exactly the same. So that was number 2. And just by adding shape to the face and adding that dimension in there, it really makes it stand out, because when I first did them, I only had one layer of the face and I didn't shape it, and it was very flat. So this really made it look nicer. And the last one that I did is a white Christmas tree with white snow again. And here's the sentiment, same thing. I added a little bit of dimension underneath, and that was all that I did to it. And these cards are absolutely gorgeous. And these look like something, it doesn't look like something that was handmade at home, but you can't find something like this in a store. So, those are the 3 that I created, and then I created the envelopes. Here are the envelopes. I only created 2. I'm going to create my 3rd one with my envelope punch board, because there's a size in there that will work for this mini slimline card. Here's the first one, and I'm going to show you what I don't like. I don't like that you can see right here where you have to glue that in place. There's a way around it, but you would have to cut more layers of paper. This was my first one that I created, and I like the shape, but I'm not crazy about that. Now, to fix that, all you have to do is cut out another rectangle a little bit smaller than this, but that reaches up here, and glue it in place, and that will cover up the seam right here where you added that piece of paper. So that's one way to fix that. Also, this has a little bit of dimension, so it's a little snug in here. So I recommend that if you have something like this and something dimensional, just turn your card backwards facing down. When you slide it in, you don't have to worry about any of these bits that are on foam getting caught up. So that's my first recommendation. The second, this die has 2 score lines, and I was able to give myself a little gusset. So I did like that about it. And in this one, you don't have to worry too much. You can put it in the way it's supposed to go in without too much trouble of it getting caught up. But you still have to be careful. But it does have plenty of room for the card. So I'm going to include these, but I think I'm going to make my own with my punch board, because to me that would be more clean. So those are the 3 cards that I created. And then I also created some money holders and a couple of tags. So for my gift card holder, I use my Scrap Diva Designs gift card holder. Now this is still available in her shop, and if you use the code C2C10, you can get 10% off your whole order. The paper that I use here is a digital from Etsy. Just go to Etsy, type in Grinch digital papers, and different things will pop up, and just grab whichever one you like. I did use the layering piece to cut out the frame, and then I just used my paper trimmer for the inner portion. Right here is that Tim Holtz colorized holly and berry die. And what I love about this, that to me this looks animated. So it fits with the cartoon or with the animated version of the Grinch. So I made 2. This one is just in red and used the black, and the contrast is really, really nice. And then there's the holly again. So I made those 2. And then I created with my new die. This one is called New Money, and this one I created, again, I did the lime green, I did the digital paper, and then this tag right here, or this sentiment, comes with this die set. It's a very, very nice size sentiment that you can use not just on your money envelope, but on anything. And, you know, I'm just going to measure the word. It's 4 inches long, you guys. So it's a very, very nice size. And at the tallest point, it's about an inch and 3/8. So it's a really nice size sentiment if you want to use it like a standalone sentiment. And it does have the tear strip on it. So that is the money envelope that I created. And I did share this one before. This is another Christmas tag that I created for the gift bag. This has the bigger hole that you can thread thicker ribbon or more ribbon through it. This one I made into a shaker, but you really can't see the design behind it too well. But that's another one that I created. And my last tag that I created is this one. Look at how cute this one is. Again, using that hand. Do not open until December 25th. Staying within the same color family. And then use the ribbon that I picked up from that Grinch theme ribbon set. But this is what I have to share with you today. But this is what I really, really love, the way the Grinch trees came out. Anyway, guys, whatever I can find, I will link in the description box below. If it's not there, it means I didn't find it. But I did give you names. That way you guys can search for it. And make sure to hop on over to Miss Betty. And that way you guys can see what she created. And there, she does give you a lot of inspiration. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone has a great day. And God bless. Bye.